Well, it looks like the WGA strikes are finally over, and doesn't that just bum you out? I mean, wasn't it so great when the strikes were going on and we weren't getting any new crappy content? I mean, yeah, there was stuff that was already in the pipeline that came out that was awful, like Ahsoka and various Marvel TV shows and whatnot, and of course there was the occasional gem, really the single gem being One Piece, but we weren't missing out on anything. It was so great to live in a world without late-night TV talk show hosts telling us what to think and about who to think, and it looks like that all could be coming to an end. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and let's see what these greedy writers are getting out of the end of this strike, shall we? Writers Guild reaches tentative agreement with studios and streamers in a significant development that could bring an end to a historic writer strike. The union and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers announced a provisional deal on Sunday. After several long consecutive days of negotiations, the Writers Guild of America and labor group representing studios and streamers have reached a tentative deal on a new contract in a major development that could precipitate the end of a historic 146-day writer's strike. I mean, really? Historic? This ain't even the longest writer's strike in history. Well, what makes this one so particularly historic? I do like how it is a tentative deal. It says right here, a tentative deal on a new contract, which means there is still time for it to fall apart, and that is what your boy is hoping happens. I hope the writers still are like, no, you know what, this isn't good enough, and then Netflix and Disney and all these other studios are just like, you know what, then just piss off. We're just gonna let the robots do it. We're done talking with you clowns, because that's what this is. This is an absolute dog and pony show, an absolute clown show. The Writers Guild of America emailed strike captains the news on Sunday night, and shortly after, its negotiating committee informed all members. We have reached a tentative agreement on a new 2023 MBA, which is to say an agreement in principle on all deal points. So all deal points. That means everything that they discussed is in some way, shape, or form potentially panning out for the writers. Because, yeah, don't teach them humility or anything like that. They were asking for everything they were requesting was completely unreasonable, with the one exception of streamers need to release their accurate numbers to show how well TV shows did. But yeah, no, it's a principle on all deal points, so the unnecessary things like residuals for shows that, despite how well they do, or things like, I don't know, a dedicated number of individuals in the writing room, like, hey, we need 6 people minimum per show, despite the fact that writing, and really any gig in Hollywood, has always been sort of a gig economy, hence the use of the word gig. It's always been make it or break it. But now, these people, they're such artistes, they think that they should just be guaranteed these jobs, guaranteed number of writers, when no, you need to be able to make it on your skill, which 9 out of 10 of these clowns don't have. Subject to drafting final contract language, the latter message stated, we can say with great pride that this deal is exceptional, with meaningful gains and protections for writers in every sector of the membership. I'm sorry, y'all shouldn't get meaningful gains and protections. In a job like this, like I just said, you should be getting your pay in your job based on merit, based on how well you perform, how well you do. 9 out of 10 writers in Hollywood are crackpots making crap shows. There's a reason numbers almost like countrywide, if not worldwide, are down for TV shows and movies on Netflix, on Disney Plus. There's a reason the box office is down. It's because these guys are bad at their jobs, and even plebeians who are not into the Hollywood scene just know, hey, something's wrong with TV or movies right now. Everything's sort of boring and lame and blasé. So yeah, but sure, give these guys more meaningful gains and protections. It's because they're losing money. They're not able to feed their families because the shows are doing so poorly. Maybe write better shit or hire people that can write better shit. The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers confirmed the news in a joint statement with the WGA about the deal on Sunday. The parties came to terms on a provisional 3-year agreement, which will need to be ratified by WGA members to take effect on Sunday after studios responded to last-minute union asks that day. Specifics of the deal affecting around 11,500 WGA members weren't available as of press time. So yeah, there's very few details in this actual article, but I am going to give you a little bit more than what's in here, so stick with me, as well as my beautiful color commentary. Though they will emerge in the next few days, the union seeks to sell its members on the pact. 11,500. There are 11,500 members in this guild. Now you tell me, you the average viewer, let me know, do you really think, let's phrase it like this, how many of these 11,500 individuals do you think are actually worth keeping around in Hollywood, let alone giving them all these protections that they are apparently possibly going to be receiving due to this tentative deal? Like, I hope that they're just trying to butter everyone up, being like, look guys, we've been striking for 5 months now, and no one's listening. We're going to have to take a bottom-of-the-barrel deal, and I hope it's a truly awful deal. That way several of these individuals that are complaining about how hard it is to be a writer just go elsewhere, since they really aren't needed in this particular job market anyway. In its message to members, the union's negotiating committee asked for patience on disclosing the fine print of the deal. What remains now is for our staff to make sure everything we have agreed to is codified in a final contract language, and though we are eager to share details of what has been achieved with you, we cannot do that until the last I is dotted. I hope it takes ages for the last I to get. I hope that last I never gets dotted. I hope your pen runs out of ink, and then you try and use one of those feather pens, and you just can't catch the bird to do it, to pluck the feather out, because we don't need these I's dotted. We need these writers gone from Hollywood. But, you know, that's just me, somebody who's actually a paying customer and is invested in good movies, good TV shows, good entertainment. But, you know, don't give the customers what they want or anything. The email stated, the deal will first go to the union's negotiating committee for a vote, then to the WGA's West Board and the WGA's East Council for approval. Both referendums are tentatively scheduled for Tuesday. If rubber stamped by those leaders, board and council will also vote on whether to end the strike at a certain date and time to be determined, pending ratification, the negotiating committee said. Bro, how many checks and balances to this crap are there? It's easier to cause an insurrection than it is to get something. Look at all this voting. I swear to Christ, it took less effort to J6 America than it did with all the voting that needs to go down with this WGA stuff. I guarantee you that Joe Biden was probably elected under more faulty pretenses than the protections that these WGA guys are getting. Like WGA West Board, East Board, referendums are tentatively scheduled for Tuesday. The deal will first go to the union's negotiating committee for a vote. You know, like Jesus Christ, it shouldn't be that difficult. It should be as easy as fire all these worthless ingrates who, you know, don't deserve this money. But if you don't want to make it that, you know, easy, if it needs to have a little bit more complexity to that, then it should just be, here's a few individuals at the tip top that need to vote on behalf of everyone else, and then we sign some papers with lawyers with the studios. You shouldn't need to go to WGA West and East and South and North and then WGA over and like the next galaxy over. This is bananas. Once these leadership votes have taken place, members will receive a summary of the agreement and memorandum of an agreement and more detailed and lawyerly accounting of the provisional contract prior to their own ratification vote. So there's another vote on top of that, a ratification vote. In the meantime, the WGA has suspended picketing while telling members that no one is to return to work until the union gives the green light. Oh my goodness. Like hold on. There's so much of this. At 146 of the ongoing at day 146 of the ongoing WGA strike, the work stoppage was closing in on being the longest in the union's history. The current record is set in 1988 when the WGA struck Hollywood companies for 154 days. Yeah, so again, like I said earlier, this isn't even the longest strike that's happened with the Writers Guild. So why are you calling this particular one historic? Though it's still tentative in nature, the agreement is a momentous development for an industry that's been hobbled by the double WGA, say that 5 times fast, double WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes, the first time both have occurred at once in over 60 years. Yeah, that's right, because the Screen Actors Guild also thinks, well, if our writers are striking, we should as well, you know, just for solidarity. Why? Why is Robert Downey Jr. out there striking? Why is, you know, homeboy for Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston, out there striking? Without our writers, we're nothing. Trust me, I've been watching modern TV. I've been watching modern movies. With your writers, you guys are nothing. Like how long has it been since television and movies have been good? Like 2016 or earlier? Man, you SAG-AFTRA folks, you should be on our side, the customer side, being like, yeah, man, I'm really sorry that our last several seasons of insert TV show here have sucked. We should go ahead and fire all these writers and get a whole new crew in, people who actually care about the process like us actors do. Like, if the SAG-AFTRA had any sense, they'd be taking the side of the paying customers. But again, the customer is always right apparently doesn't apply in Hollywood. The Hollywood gets to tell you, the viewer, this is what you want to see. You don't get a say. And where are we going to turn to if our needs aren't being met? Well, I'll tell you, we're already turning to foreign TV. Do you realize how much Korean and Japanese TV shows have spiked in popularity? It's been, but I'm not even talking about anime. Like, anime's been getting big over here in the West for decades now, but K-dramas, Japanese movies, Korean movies, what about India? We've seen a rise in Indian film and popularity here in America as well. We've pretty much proven that we are A-okay without these writers. So who are you guys actually doing this for? You're doing it for yourselves because you got no other talent. You can't sit there. You're so bad with a pen that you can't make something like She-Hulk work. And you're so weak in the arms because you've never done any sort of heavy labor your whole life. You just can't go to the coal mines of Des Moines, Iowa or wherever. I don't know where coal mines are. But the point is, you can't go to the coal mines and do hard labor there. You are quite literally worthless walking human beings with no skills and nothing that you are adding to society. But oh man, those actors, they sure gotta back you, because where would they be without you? Negotiations for the agreement began on March 20th and broke off the night of May 1st, resulting on a strike the next day. So yeah, they were trying to negotiate for almost 2 months before the strike actually happened. The two parties reunited again on August 11th, reached a standstill in late August, but resumed September 20th and concluded their negotiations on September 24th. So yes, yesterday by the time you're seeing this. The writers have been advocating for great compensation in the streaming era, though higher wage floors, regulation of mini rooms, and residuals tied to performance of their shows. They didn't even talk about the AI stuff, which is another thing that the writers are freaking out about. Oh no, the robots, they're coming for our job. It's going to be like an Isaac Asimov novel. Well, first of all, shut the hell up. Don't compare yourself to better authors. I bet you never even read anything by Isaac Asimov. You saw the Will Smith movie and thought it sounded smart. But no, the AI is going to make television, make movies and all that better, because they're going to replace a bunch of you that gave us crap like Secret Wars, with Nick Fury, Sam Jackson. Oh, that show was a damn travesty, and I guarantee you that our AI robot overlords could have produced a much better show with half the time, a quarter of the time, a third, whatever it is. You just get one dude in there who could just touch up the script, and maybe, just maybe, they could have made Sam Jackson cool, because I don't know how modern day writers did it, but they made Samuel L. Jackson look like a pussy. Imagine telling somebody in 1998, hey, get ready, we're going to make Samuel L. Jackson look like a pussy. They would have thought you were insane. That was impossible to do at the time, but by God, our modern writers found a way. So yeah, they're asking for some really unreasonable shit if you can't figure out what I'm saying by this point. Yeah, I'm not even going to go through this whole article. As you know, it's a joke. This writer strike, it's been a joke. There's a reason that individuals across YouTube, across the internet, have just been making fun of this writer strike, because 9 out of 10 of us do a better job. The scripts that you see in highly edited and scripted YouTube videos, usually done by one person, not a team. The off-the-cuff remarks you get in the sort of streaming sessions like you see on Saturday Night Hypnosis or any of those other good fun live streams. We are better than 99% of these writers. You don't see us over here crying about the fact that, oh, we're not getting very much YouTube ad revenue. Ad rep sucks right now. YouTube's banning and censoring us for talking about things that are actually important. But go ahead, go and watch your comic book TV shows that aren't even source material accurate. No, dude, it is getting absurd. I swear, I hope to God that this tentative deal falls through. That way these worthless writers who do not have, and I'm going to stress this, any talent, minus an absolute handful of them, I hope they do not get their jobs. I hope this deal goes through, and I hope Netflix and Disney and all those others start switching to AI. 11,500 members. Remember that number. That was how many people are supposedly in the WGA. 11,500. You tell me, with where we're at in America right now, with all the problems we got going on, do you really think 11,500 people are worthy of cushy writing gigs? I really don't, but I want to know your thoughts, so let me know in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at BoltTheWord, and please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, not always about things like the ongoing WGA strikes, but Magic the Gathering, anime, movies, you name it, it's all here in the nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.